All right, guys, so it was quite an interesting draw for the Champions League knockout stages yesterday, and we saw some really exciting matchups to look forward to. But this draw has a problem. There are some really good games to look forward to from now, from the round of 16 to the quarterfinal, the semis, and eventually the final. But there's only one problem with this draw, and I think it's something that everybody, 90% of football fans would agree with, is the fact that this draw lacks balance. Like, there is no balance in these draws at all. Now look at the draws. On one side, you have some very heavyweight clashes, right from the round of 16 down to the quarterfinal and even the potential semi-finals. Then on the other side of the draw, luckily Barcelona fell on this side of the draw, and you have some, well, not so exciting matchups. Even though there are some games that are exciting to look forward to in this other bracket of the draw, there is no argument that this other side of the draw, where you have the likes of PSG versus Chelsea, Real Madrid versus Man City, Bayern versus Atalanta, Liverpool versus Galatasaray, this side of the draw is clearly the more difficult side of the draw. And looking at this draw, now, I ain't gonna lie, as a Barcelona fan, I desperately wanted to avoid PSG at this stage. I ain't gonna lie. This is me being very honest right now. I desperately wanted to avoid PSG, at least at this stage of the Champions League. So, thankfully, Barcelona were paired against Newcastle United. No disrespect to Newcastle, but PSG are the champions. They are a way tougher opposition to come up against. But I was not expecting that even if we escaped PSG, that we're going to have a lot more winnable games in the next rounds, like in the rounds to come after the round of 16. But surprisingly, that's what the draw gave us. This draw is almost giving the vibe of Arsenal and Barcelona fans would be like the happiest from these draws. Of course, I know that there are a lot of surprises that we always see in the Champions League, but there is no way that Arsenal and Barca fans are not excited with these draws. I'll tell you that for free. Now, it's almost as if UEFA, they have put this thing in mind. We know Barca has not won the Champions League for the last 11 years. The last time Barca won the Champions League was in 2015. So that's like 11 years ago. That's a long ass time, bro. Let's be honest, that's a way long time. And for Arsenal, you don't need no one to tell you that Arsenal have never, ever in their history won the Champions League before. So anyone looking at these draws would feel like, oh, this whole thing is set up for Arsenal and Barca to be favored, because no disrespect to the opponents or the other teams in their side of the draw, but Arsenal and Barca are the favorites to meet in a potential semi-final in that side of the draw, because Barca versus Newcastle, I see Barcelona winning that game. If Barca wins, they are likely to face the winner of Atletico versus Tottenham, which whoever Barca meets in the quarterfinal, that's if they're able to beat Newcastle, that's still very much a winnable game. If you look at the other games, Arsenal versus Leverkusen, clearly Arsenal easily would win that game, in my opinion. And Sporting versus Bodo Glimt, well, with the way Bodo have played in the Champions League this season, anything is possible, but it doesn't matter in my opinion. If Arsenal are able to get past Leverkusen, which I expect they will, clearly they are going to defeat whoever they meet in the quarterfinals. It's as simple as that. So we are likely to see a semi-final between Arsenal and Barca. So that bracket, I think, is quite straightforward. But looking at this other side of the draw, PSG versus Chelsea, that's 50-50. Usually, one would say that PSG would easily win that, but we know what Chelsea can do in big games. And PSG are no strangers to this as well, because let's not forget, just a few months ago, in the Club World Cup final, Chelsea beat PSG 3-0. So even though PSG, I expect them to come back with a sense of revenge, but I expect Chelsea to still give them a difficult game. The Liverpool versus Galatasaray game, in previous seasons, I would have said Liverpool are clear favorites, but with the way Liverpool have had ups and downs this season, and Galatasaray, they can be good on their day. So that game is, I think it's in the balance, but even though I expect Liverpool to go through, ultimately I expect Liverpool to go through. Now going down to Man City, Real Madrid, this game has been one of the most consistent fixtures in the Champions League in the last few years. Like, we've seen a repeat of this fixture a lot. This one is a 50-50 game because Madrid are Madrid. And as for City, on their day, we know that they can defeat about any opposition out there. So this one, for me, is 50-50. And then the Bayern versus Atalanta game, that's a game that we're going to see a lot of goals. Like, over the two legs, we're going to see a lot of goals. But eventually, Bayern should be making it to the quarterfinals to face either City or Real Madrid. And this side of the draw is so tough. And I know Madrid fans, really, right now, Madrid fans will feel like this thing is an agenda against them, because let's assume Madrid are able to get past City. They still have to deal with Bayern, potentially. Let's assume they are able to get past Bayern. They still have to deal with Chelsea, PSG, or even Liverpool to be able to get to the final. So you will not blame Madrid fans for feeling that this draw was staged against them. But that's football. It's the draw. You can face any opposition, really. You can face any opposition. I don't feel this draw was manipulated, but it's quite an interesting one, quite imbalanced as well. One side of the draw is so tough. The other side, no disrespect to the other teams in the other side of the draw, but I feel it's quite straightforward for Arsenal and Barcelona. But for Real Madrid fans who are feeling bad, the likes of Chelsea, PSG, Liverpool fans, Bayern fans, they can feel the same way as well, because they are also on the difficult side of the draw. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Adios.